Hi, this is Amber Matusik with Art2Ride, and I am here with Mystery. She is a approximately 10-year-old quarter horse draft mix, we think. My client got her about a year ago. She was a little bit of a rescue in that she had been sitting for approximately 7 months without having her feet done in a small pen, and she had a big swelling on her belly, and she hadn't done very much. We saw a video of her being ridden in a big shank bit, and she had her head straight in the air and was gaping, her mouth open and closed. So she had not been broken over in the neck, but she certainly had not learned how to soften her jaw and pull and reach for the contact. She also had really bad ulcers, which we've been treating since we got her, and she has very bad conformation in her hind legs where she really toes in behind. So work in general can be a little difficult for her. She also came to us, as I said, she had been sitting for 7 months, so she was extremely unfit. So right here you see me starting out in our work session, and this was about a year ago. It had been a little rainy, so she'd been stuck in the stall, and so she was a little energetic starting out. You saw her kind of pull back, and I just didn't make a big deal of that. I just sent her on, and now I'm working on getting her out to the end of the lunge line consistently. So her tendency is to bulge out a little at the gate where she wants to leave, and then as she gets around to the other side of the ring, she falls in a little. And I'm trying to walk towards her and send her on a little and get her away from me by pushing out towards her shoulder without making a big deal of it. So if I walk towards her quickly, then she kind of gets tense and runs off. So I'm just trying to keep her nice and relaxed and get her moving to the end of the line. Now, as everyone knows, it's extremely important to have the horse consistently in your hand on the lunge line. So the first thing you do when you're teaching lunging is teaching the horse to go out to the end of the line and stay out there, and then develop a little bit of a rhythm and, hopefully some relaxation. So that's what we're working on here, is just trying to get a little bit of a rhythm and a little more relaxation. You can see she's quite hollow. She was pretty tense in the beginning, and right here she's starting to go a little bit more consistently towards the end of the line, although you see it still does get a little bit loose as she comes around to this back side right here. So I keep pushing her out and trying to get her towards the end of the line. And this is getting a little better right here. I don't know if you saw, she reached down a little. And part of the reason I really wanted to show this horse right there is much better, is I wanted people to see what it looks like when I get a horse in for training that doesn't know anything. And a lot of the times it takes a while before you get a consistent stretch, and I want people to understand and not give up. So just because you've tried this work a few times and maybe haven't gotten a perfect stretch doesn't mean that you're not doing some good or that you're not on your way towards getting that better stretch. So just expecting a little bit better each day. And as you can see here in the walk, it's getting much, much better. She's starting to reach down more consistently and reach forward with her hind legs, getting some swing and starting to reach over her back. Now you can see she does do some head twisting and some opening and closing of her mouth, which will get better over time and with strength. So I'm not going to worry about that at all now. Now I start out this other direction, and oftentimes, even if I've reached a certain level of relaxation in one direction, it doesn't carry over into the new direction, and it's like starting completely fresh. So again, you see here that she's definitely falling in on the far side of the ring and then bulging out towards the gate. So slowly I'm trying to send her on over there on that far side. You see me put the whip up and out towards her, and what I'm doing there is trying to push her away from me, not necessarily make her any quicker, but her reaction is to speed up, and I'm just gonna wait that out, but consistently keep asking her to move out away from me over there, as she has to get out to the end of the line before I can really start influencing her. So even if it makes a little tension, I'm going to continue to try to get her to step away from me over there. So I'm trying to do it really quietly and, not like really getting after her loudly, but this horse is very sensitive, and that's part of, I think, the type of horse that will develop a lot of ulcers are the internalizer type of horses that worry about things and tend to rush a little. So this horse has those traits and those qualities. And here you see me just continually, I just keep coming as we come around this back side. I'm going to just keep putting the whip up and trying to get her out to the end of the line where I can influence her. That last trip around was a little bit better. Here she's still diving in a little, but as you can see, I am letting the line out a little longer. So I'm trying to let her on a bigger circle here. And that's getting a little bit better. Still, the line is getting a little loose around that backside. And as you can see, then when she comes around, if it's loose around the one side, then she kind of runs into it. All of a sudden, it gets tight as she gets near the gate because she tries to run towards the gate. So right there, again, still trying to push her out on the circle. And I have a more recent video of this horse just taken. So this video that we're watching was taken a year ago, and now I have a recent video of her with her being ridden. And in the beginning, I did not do a lot of in-hand because she was a little pushy and very tense, and the in-hand work made her really tense, and then she got even more pushy. So in the beginning with this horse, I spent about 4 or 5 months of just lunging her with the shambone and the side reins and working on what you see here, getting her to the end of the line, trying to get a little softer through her jaw and pull so that she would start reaching out and down for the contact. And right there, she had a nice moment where she relaxed a little and reached down. And the circle was a little better. She didn't dive in quite as badly. They're much, much better here. She's starting to reach down a little bit. Now she came up and hollowed a little there. And that's where she was at this point. She was not super consistent, and just getting a little moment of it here or there was good for her. So right here, still trying to get her out to the end of the line consistently. Much better, that circle, much better. And you can see her rhythm is starting to even out a little in this direction now. And she's starting to soften a little bit and reach down for that contact, which is what I'm looking for. So it's just overall, the picture is getting much nicer. And she does come up and hollow there over there on that side. And again, I'm just right back to, I'm not going to make a big deal out of anything, just mainly trying to establish that rhythm And then as she's out at the end of the line, I'm just slowly kind of taking and giving a little bit on that line, just, giving her a little, play with the bit to try to get that jaw to kind of soften up a little bit. So she had, really learned to brace up and against. And so it's taken her a really long time to learn that she can just kind of relax her jaw and pull and reach down for that contact. Now, I had a nice moment there, and I felt that she was, she needed to break to the walk. And so I let her break to the walk since she had such a nice, couple strides before that. And then I'm just working on it here in the walk. Now, this is a good example also of a horse that really needed in the beginning to work on the trot first on the lunge line before you could come back and work on the walk, because she was too tense to force into the walk when you first started out. So really happy with this walk here for her, and at this moment in time from when I had her, this was really a very good walk for her. She's starting to relax a lot more, and so I'm going to be done with that. And